Refuting the Feynman assertion, knowledge isn't free. You have to pay attention. Anchor, Austin E. de la Cruz Jr. Collaborators, Carmencita Ursua de la Cruz, C.P. Rice Paddies, A.K. Mullins, KRD, et al. Platform, Mnemosine Archive and Ledger. This is the Mnemosine Archive and Ledger. We ritualize memory. We mobilize dignity. We syndicate peace. We look for knowledge. We demand the truth. Our core argument: humans cannot pay attention when they are starving, and under constant bombings ready, 1, 2, 3, streaming, now. Refuting the Feynman assertion, knowledge isn't free, you have to pay attention. Abstract this response, challenges the claim that knowledge is simply a matter of attention by exploring how systemic poverty, political repression, and violence undermine people's capacity to focus. We show that genuine learning depends on access to resources, personal freedoms, and human dignity. When survival is a daily struggle, the idea that paying attention alone suffices becomes dangerously misguided. Definition of terms: knowledge, information, understanding, and skills bought through education or lived experience. Oppressive regimes: governments that deny civil liberties, suppress dissent, and use coercion or deprivation to keep power. Financial repression: economic measures that restrict individuals' access to capital. And financial autonomy, often used by authoritarian states to punish opposition. Cognitive load: the mental effort needed to process and learn information, severely diminished by hunger, trauma, and chronic stress. Core argument: you cannot pay attention when you are starving. One. Oppression is a strategy to suppress knowledge. Oppressive regimes deliberately starve and impoverish their populations to keep citizens focused on survival, cutting access to education and technology, and replace critical thinking with ideological compliance. 2. Poverty erodes cognitive function. Research shows that chronic hunger and low socioeconomic status impair brain development, especially in the hippocampus and cortex, reducing memory, attention span, and executive functioning. Persistent stress and poor nutrition in early childhood create lasting neural deficits that perpetuate cycles of deprivation. Institute for Research on Poverty. 3. Interest rates and taxation, as modern shackles high interest rates and regressive taxation drain public budgets, diverting funds from education and welfare into military spending. Elevated borrowing costs and austerity measures can force governments to cut social programs, worsening poverty and limiting educational opportunities. Moral and ethical analysis to suggest that knowledge is merely a matter of paying attention ignores the lived reality of millions. It presumes a level playing field that does not exist. Ethically, it trivializes suffering in war zones, famine-stricken regions, and impoverished communities. Morally, it absorbs those in power of responsibility to foster conditions for learning. Philosophically, it reduces the quest for truth to a passive act, overlooking the active resistance required under tyranny. Too long, didn't read summary, TL, DAR. True knowledge demands more than attention. It requires access to resources, freedom, and dignity. In contexts dominated by oppression, hunger, and economic violence, paying attention is a rare privilege, not a universal right. References: 1. Interest Rates and Welfare Budget Connection, Old ES Institute. 2. Do-Hoon Lee and Isabel Sahil, Effects of Poverty and Health on Children's Cognitive Development, Focus on Families and Societies, Institute for Research on Poverty, University of Wisconsin, Madison. 3. Payman Khorrami and Jung Sakong, The Impact of Low Interest Rates on Education Investment and Inequality in America, Forward Pathway. 4. The Impact of Poverty and Socioeconomic Status on Brain Behavior and Neural Development, de Gruyter Brill. 5. Blandon, Gregg, and Macmillan, Persistent Poverty and Children's Cognitive Development, Journal of the Royal Statistical Society, Series A. This is Austin E. de la Cruz, Jr., anchor of the Mnemosine Archive and Ledger. On behalf of our coalition collaborators, CP, CARMI, and our growing network, we issue this call: defend memory, defend dignity, defend peace. Knowledge is power, with responsibility of protecting the innocent civilians, women, children, and the unborn from all perpetrators of crimes against humanity. Take care of each other, always. Respect the living and the dead unconditionally. Do not desecrate the dead and dehumanize the living or be a world pariah.